Talking about my self-growth presentation, and I did it on a PowerPoint for my visual aid today. So the first slide talks about some of the things that we did in class, like we wrote about and performed in the front. And the one that I'm going to talk about today is a skit that me and Luke did in class. It was a bank robbery scenario, and I was the negotiator and he was the robber. And some of the things that went very well in that scenario there were our props. Our props were on point. We had my cell phone as our communication devices. And then we had a paper gun that we made. And then also our universal greeting, we came up with that. That worked out pretty well. And my universal greeting, for example, was, "Hi, my name's Dylan Pitts. I'm the FBI negotiator here today. Is there anything I can get for you or help you out today with, sir?" And that's about it. That was our universal greeting, and it came up, and it worked pretty well in that, and it wasn't very hard to find out. Now, the things that we struggled with while we were writing this scenario, one of them was coming up with those relevant questions to ask, and like to ask without making like the robber, for instance, angry. And then also which also goes with that is redirecting what he would say to me and making it positive. That was very hard for us to come up with. We really had to think through that a little bit. But I mean, after a while we got through it and it worked out pretty well. But I think those two things right there are the hardest things to do, just when you're writing any kind of skit like this, and just in a real life situation too. So some of the experiences that I've had in the real world were they're mostly fast food, and all the scenarios that I've seen in fast food are because people don't get the right item that they ordered. Their food's been overcooked, undercooked, or just not cooked how they wanted it, or they've been waiting too long. And some of the ways that I've handled this that have worked for me have been finding the problem. First of all, is always pretty easy to do, especially when someone's upset, because they're usually screaming it at you or they're telling you right away, "This is wrong and I want to fix now," stuff like that. And then another thing that I've usually been pretty good at is apologizing. I'm pretty good at apologizing, ask them if they want me to remake it. Now, some of the things that I struggled with in this was not using those trigger words like, "Sir, I'm going to need you to calm down. I can remake your food, or I can give you a refund if you'd like that." The trigger word, "calm down." Even I get triggered by that word, "calm down," sometimes, especially if I would be angry. So I understand why people would be upset. And a lot of these instances, people would either leave and say, "Yep, I want money back, I'm leaving, this place sucks," and then they bash us on social media. Stuff like that would happen. It could have been because of my word choice. And I think this class has really just taught me some of those words that I just don't want to use. And calm down is definitely one of them I used a lot, and I really didn't understand or really look at it like, wow, that really does make people mad when they're upset. So I think that's really going to help me throughout my career, not just in fast food, but throughout the rest of my life. And then this next slide talks about why the people around me are safer now because of the things I've learned in this class so far, and because of my presence. And I think one of the things that really helped me is just being aware. Cooper's Colors is very good for awareness there, because I think a lot of us younger generation people are always in that white stage with our cell phones, because we're always just glued to it, our eyes are glued down to that, and we're just never up looking around. We're stuck in that little cell phone world. I mean, that's when bad things happen. We can walk out in front of cars. I mean, stuff like that happens all the time. So just knowing those right there, and just knowing when to be aware and what state of mind I should always be in, I mean, that'll help me and everybody around me too. And then another thing that'll help me is the 10-5 2-foot rule. I think that's a very important rule too, because I mean, if let's say I'm walking with my family or my friends and some guy's approaching us, we're walking, I mean, the 10 feet would be assess the person, and then 5 foot would be just visual confrontation. So you look at him, and then you can do a universal greeting, or you can just greet him and say, "Hey, you have a nice day," or "How you doing?" Something like that. And then 2 foot would be you go into action. So after whatever you've seen, you either act as you just keep walking, going along with your day, or if it looks like he's got a knife or a gun, or you see something that's like, "Oh gosh, I need to get out of here," then you turn the other way, or you get out of that situation right now. And I think that right there is really going to help me and the people around me a lot. Now, how these skills will help me in my future. So my major is actually radiographic imaging, so I'm going into the healthcare field. So I think all these little tactics will help me with combative patients especially, and just to be able to see a situation, and before it escalates to something super huge, I can see it and be like, okay, he's about to kick me, he's about to hit me, I need to be ready to block it or get out of the way. Or he is very upset, maybe I should talk to him before I start doing anything. I mean, just little things like that I think will help me a lot and make me successful in my future.